Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Todd and Julie Chrisley talk trauma support after prison release. Todd and Julie Chrisley have opened up and talked about trauma support after their prison release. Mental health is something that everyone should be aware of and take care of. So Todd and Julie are being open and honest about it all. Savannah Chrisley even opened up about what she has been feeling towards her parents. There is a lot to unfold and uncover. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Savannah Chrisley takes on a lot. When Todd and Julie Chrisley got locked away, Savannah Chrisley had to take on a lot. Not only this, but she went through a lot during the time they were behind bars as well. She had to take custody of her younger siblings, Grayson and Chloe. She dealt with her ex dying, a breakup, and people turning on her after her parents were incarcerated. So yes, Todd and Julie had to go through a lot. But Savannah had to go through just as much, if not more. Her parents do recognize that, and have openly talked about the trauma she endured during this time. Todd and Julie Chrisley talk trauma support after prison release. Todd and Julie Chrisley have revealed that they do think prisoners should get trauma support after being released from prison. Savannah then said she does not see a lot of trauma from her father, but she does with her mother. She then revealed that even though she loves them more than anything else, she does feel a disconnect from them. Todd then recognized that she did have to go through a lot during this time too, and she more than likely has a lot of trauma from this. Fans appreciated that Todd recognized all that Savannah had to go through. Fans think the entire family needs to get help processing what they went through. It seems as though Savannah notices more trauma in Julie than in Todd. However, Todd did not dismiss Savannah and let her know that she probably has more trauma than anyone else. Fans loved that he did not dismiss her and act like she went through nothing during this. He has his daughter's back and always will. However, this may lead to Savannah getting some help with what she has gone through. For Todd and Julie Chrisley, life after prison isn't about reclaiming fame. It's about reclaiming peace. After spending over a year behind bars, the former Chrisley knows best stars have emerged from confinement not as reality TV royalty, but as two people trying to piece together what was shattered: their lives, their family, and their mental well-being. In a recent candid sit-down, Todd and Julie broke their silence about the toll incarceration took on their minds and spirits, and why they're now passionately advocating for trauma support for former inmates. "People think the hardest part is going in," Todd said, folding his hands as his voice cracked. "But the real work starts when you come out. You're not the same, and you're not supposed to be." Julie, looking composed but weary, nodded in agreement. "I felt like I had aged 10 years, she said quietly. "Not just physically, but emotionally. The isolation, the lack of touch, the constant surveillance. You start to forget what it feels like to be a human being." The Chrisleys had built their empire on laughter, southern charm, and an image of perfection. But the fall from grace was swift and public. After being convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion, the couple reported to separate federal prisons. Julie in Kentucky, Todd in Florida. For over a year, they were kept apart from their children, their home, and each other. But perhaps more devastating than the separation was the psychological strain they hadn't anticipated. "There's no manual for this," Todd explained. "No one tells you how to grieve the version of yourself that didn't make it through. And believe me, part of you doesn't make it out." Now free, the couple is seeking purpose in a new mission, bringing awareness to post-incarceration trauma. They've begun working with prison reform advocates, therapists, and community organizations to develop trauma-informed recovery programs for people re-entering society. Julie described the first night she slept in her own bed after her release. "I was supposed to feel comforted. I had my silk pillowcase again, my lavender spray, but I couldn't sleep. I felt like someone was watching me. I was jumping at every sound. It was like my nervous system was still locked up." Their daughter Savannah, who had spent the past year advocating for their release while raising her younger siblings, encouraged her parents to seek counseling. That step,
I didn't believe
they
in
say,
therapy
saved
before
them.
this.
Todd admitted. I used to think it was for people who couldn't handle life. But I learned real fast that trauma doesn't care how strong you are. It knocks you flat. Now in weekly sessions, the Chrisleys are unraveling years of suppressed emotions, from childhood wounds to the bitterness of betrayal and the shame of losing everything in front of the world. Julie also opened up about her experiences as a woman in prison. There's a certain silence women are expected to keep, she said. But I watched so many mothers in there suffer in silence, crying over lost custody, missed graduations, letters that never came. That grief doesn't evaporate when you leave. It follows you home. As part of their new advocacy work, Todd and Julie have started building a foundation called The Second Light, which aims to connect recently released inmates with trauma counselors, peer mentors, and support groups. Their goal is to reduce recidivism by treating the invisible wounds many carry after incarceration. People get out of prison and are expected to act normal, Todd said. But what does normal even mean when you've been dehumanized for months or years? You can't just flip a switch. Julie added, we want to change the conversation from punishment to healing. Yes, we paid for our mistakes. But that doesn't mean we don't deserve restoration. The couple says their faith has been a critical part of their journey. I screamed at God in that cell, Todd admitted. I was angry. I was broken. But he didn't turn away from me. And now I see. Maybe this suffering was meant to be used for something bigger than us. Julie, who became known for her quiet strength during their trial, revealed that she led a weekly prayer circle during her time at the women's facility. It was the one place where we could cry and not be judged, she said. And those women, they weren't statistics to me. They were mothers, daughters, survivors. The Chrisleys are aware that their story remains controversial. Not everyone believes in second chances, and they know they'll face scrutiny as they re-enter the public eye. But they say they're not here to rebuild a brand. They're here to rebuild lives. If even one person hears our story and decides to get help for their trauma instead of falling back into the same cycles, Todd said, then all this pain wasn't in vain. As for their future, the Chrisleys aren't chasing another reality show, at least not yet. Their focus is on healing themselves, their family, and the thousands of others whose stories don't make headlines. I used to think strength meant being untouchable, Julie said. Now I know it means being vulnerable. It means saying, I'm not okay, but I'm trying. And that's what we're doing. We're trying. One day at a time. One heart at a time. Because for Todd and Julie Chrisley, freedom isn't about open doors. It's about open wounds finally beginning to heal.